Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
When buying a new car, one of the main factors is fuel consumption. With the rise in fuel prices, special attention is paid to fuel consumption. The lower the fuel consumption, the lower the maintenance costs. Consumption varies greatly depending on the type of car and mechanics. That is why we have made this list with the cars that consume less on the market, separated by mechanics and also by bodywork. The best of the best in terms of efficiency and savings. Much has changed in just a few years. Today's offer includes much more advanced options than the traditional diesel and gasoline engines, which have evolved to achieve the highest possible efficiency. More and more drivers like the electrified options. The hope of reducing fuel consumption and obtaining favorable environmental labels has caused hybrid car sales to skyrocket in recent years. Electric and plug-in hybrids show promise, although their price makes rapid and widespread deployment unlikely. When measuring the fuel consumption of a car, there are many factors that can alter the final result. In addition to the engine and bodywork, other factors come into play, such as weight, travel, or the driver himself. To standardize data collection, Europe uses the WLTP type approval cycle. Every car on the market must undergo the same tests under the same conditions. By taking measurements at low, medium, and high speed, the final result is calculated by a simple average, expressing the result in liters per 100 kilometers. This is the measure used to evaluate a car's fuel consumption. Cars with the lowest fuel consumption by type of fuel. Currently, the mechanical offer includes engines of all types: diesel, gasoline, microhybrid, MHEV, hybrid, HEV, electric, EV, gas, and even hydrogen. There has never been so much variety, and the best in each category are Toyota Aygo X-Cross, gasoline, 4.8 liters/100 km. We start the table by the most efficient model with gasoline engine without hybridization, which corresponds to the C label. The Toyota Aygo X-Cross rises to the first position of the cars with gasoline engine that consume less thanks to a very low consumption. The podium of the most economical in the gasoline section closes with the Mitsubishi Space Star and its average consumption of 4 dot. 9 liters per 100 kilometers, and with the Skoda Fabia 1.0 TSI with an average in WLTP cycle of 5.0 liters per 100 kilometers traveled. Renault Clio, diesel, 4.1 liters/100 km. Once again, small cars are the best when it comes to consumption and efficiency. Their small size and latest generation engines manage to offer figures that larger models are unable to match. The Renault Clio is currently the most economical among the cars with diesel engines that consume the least. It has a C label. The podium of the section is completed, curiously, by a mid-size sedan such as the 115 horsepower Skoda Octavia 2.0 TDI and a compact. The Volkswagen Golf 2.0 TDI with identical power, both with a homologated average consumption of 4.3 L/100 km. Toyota Yaris and Mazda 2 hybrids, 3.8 liters/100 km. Electrification promises to reduce emissions and pollution from cars thanks to the combined use of a gasoline engine and an electric motor. The Toyota Yaris and Mazda 2 hybrid, twin models that share everything, are the leaders in the category thanks to a fuel consumption of only 3.8 liters, lower than any diesel unit. Designed for extensive urban use, their small size is their great ally. The top three of the hybrid cars that consume less are completed with the Toyota Yaris, 3.9 liters/100 km, and the Kia Niro, 4 dot. 4 liters/100 km. Audi A3 Sportback, plug-in hybrids, 0.3 liters/100 km. The higher the battery capacity, the more electric range you will have, which in turn means lower fuel consumption in the WLTP homologation run. The Audi A3 Sportback is the outstanding leader in the category thanks to a battery capacity of 25.7 kilowatt-hours and a range of 142 kilometers. The podium is closed by other models such as the Volkswagen Golf 1.5e Hybrid with an average expenditure of 0.3 liters per 100 kilometers, and the Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 4MATIC with a homologated average of 0.4 liters per 100 kilometers. The cars that consume the least by category. As we have already mentioned, the mechanics are not the only factor that determines the final consumption data. Bodywork, size, and weight are even more important factors. The market is separated by categories, segments that are fragmented according to size and body styles. Thus, the most efficient models by category are Kia Niro, SUV, 4.4 liters/100 km. SUVs are the most coveted models on the market. All brands fight in each category with the intention of conquering thousands of sales. Among its many reasons, consumption is one of the most positive aspects of the Kia Niro 1.6 GDI HEV, the leader in the category of non-plug-in SUVs with the lowest fuel consumption. A record figure that stands above other models such as the Toyota Yaris Cross Hybrid and the Lexus LBX. BMW 2 Series Active Tourer, MPVs, 4.5 liters/100 km, although minivans have lost a lot of market share to the advance of SUVs. They are still the best possible solution for families. The BMW 2 Series Active Tourer manages to win the consumption battle thanks to its diesel mechanics with microhybridization. It is positioned above other very efficient models, such as the Mercedes B-Class or the Volkswagen Touran. Toyota Yaris and Mazda 2 Hybrid, small or city passenger cars, 3.8 liters/100 km, the Czech midsize sedan dominates a category in which the contenders may be more luxurious and refined, but where it offers space and price to confront. With its 116 horsepower 2.0 TDI engine is not the fastest in the segment, but it is the one that spends the least, with a homologated average of 4.2 L/100 km. The BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe, in its 220d version, is also very efficient, with 4.2 L/100 km, but we find it less advisable for its limited trunk of only 360 liters, compared to the 600L of the Octavia. Third place in this category goes to the Toyota Corolla sedan, with 4.5 L/100 km. Peugeot Rifter, vans, 5.3 liters/100 km. The more professional sector has also improved its consumption data, having to adjust to the same emissions averages as the rest of the vehicles. The list of the most fuel-efficient vans is crowned by the Peugeot Rifter. Thanks to a 100 horsepower diesel engine, it is able to reduce fuel consumption to a minimum of 5.3 L/100 km. It is on a par with its competitors, it is true, with a 95 horsepower Renault Kangoo Combi 1.5 Blue DCI that matches the average for Andelt DOT. Angst 3 L/100 km, and a 102 horsepower Opel Combo 1.5 diesel 1.5 that also does so, 4.3 L/100 km. Mercedes-Benz CLE, sports cars, 4.7 liters/100 km. Most sports cars do not focus on consumption. The sensations at the wheel and a striking aesthetic are their main attraction, but even so some models manage to get very low consumption figures, as is the case of the exceptional Mercedes-Benz CLE 220d Coupe. It is not the most fun car on the market when it comes to squeezing its diesel mechanics, but it does provide a very balanced performance. With the usual agility of reactions of Mercedes coupes and without spending much on fuel, it manages to outperform other models such as the BMW 420d Coupe, 6.4 L/100 km, or the BMW 220i Coupe, 6.4 L/100 km. Everyone is looking for the best balance between price and consumption. Obtaining a low fuel consumption is essential, but if we add to that a reduced selling price, we have a formula for success. The cheapest and most fuel-efficient car in our country is the Renault Clio DCI 100 horsepower. Its price starts at €20,776 and its average consumption is 4.1 liters per 100 kilometers. There are those with a slightly lower consumption, such as the Toyota Yaris 3.8L/100, but its higher starting price, €24,850. Euros, does not meet the first criterion of price that we have established for this last section.